I think people at Netflix found it rather unexpected that I was suddenly really excited to do a thriller. The dig went well for them on their platform when they asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, "Look, the next thing I've been dying to do is a thriller."
Is everything okay?
Who was in this room?
When?
Well, just now. Just when I was in the shower with... Was it you?
I had to send towels to the laundry. Did something happen?
Did you write something?
Oh, hey. Muddy.
Were you in my room?
Excuse me, in your room?
The treatment room.
No, I just got out of the sauna and I was planning on going for a massage. If that's okay.
Well, congratulations on the movie. It's so great to talk to you about it. It's based on a novel, of course, and a lot of your other work has been an adaptation as well, whether on stage or on screen. I'm curious, for this particular story, what felt different or new that you got to do with it compared to some of your other adaptations?
I mean, I had never worked in a genre space in the film world. I think that I'd certainly kind of referenced genre work on stage in my opera or theatre productions, but I'd never done like being part of the kind of Hollywood machine of working in a genre and a style that comes with expectations, that comes with a lot of baggage, and drama is a little bit freer of expectations because it's kind of the rule is whatever goes to move people the most, to share the story with them the most. And I think there are tropes that you can either play into or avoid or twist in especially in the thriller space that you need to be really aware of. I mean, I think people at Netflix found it rather unexpected that I was suddenly really excited to do a thriller. The dig went well for them on their platform when they asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, "Look, the next thing I've been dying to do is a thriller." And they had just bought, the rights to The Woman in Cabin 10, and had commissioned an adaptation for screen, and I read that, and I was kind of super excited by the premise. Like, it reminded me of The Lady Vanishes, a Hitchcock film that from a long time ago that I'd always adored, and it, that kind of mind-bending conspiracy of the whole world is against this one lead character. I found that really compelling. Hitchcock was obsessed with that, the idea of the individual against the conspiracy. You see it in North by Northwest, you see it in Rear Window, you see it in Vertigo, you see it in The Man Who Knew Too Much. Like, you see almost like a significant percentage of Hitchcock's films are kind of that same premise, which is an everyday human being gets caught up in the worst scenario of their lives. And that person is always a man, even in the post-Hitchcockian era.
Sure.
Of the paranoid thrillers of the 70s. You've got Robert Redford, you got Gene Hackman, you got Dustin Hoffman, you got Warren Beatty, but there are no women who were the voice of integrity and truth. And so I was like, I want to make that movie with a woman at its core, and this is the perfect vehicle for that.
Yeah. What's exciting is that you are paying, homage to these psychological thrillers of the sort of the past. Like you mentioned, all these Hitchcock movies. I know you watched some 1970s movies. Conversation, I feel like, was one of them that I saw you kind of look back on. So it's exciting that you're paying homage and also bringing it into the modern day, bringing it forward and continuing to help evolve this genre. It's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've spent a lot of your career in the theater. How does your experience as a theater director inform the way you approach filmmaking?
So I started off as a film actor, and then I got a little bit frustrated with waiting around a lot, and kind of not being, my brain was a little bit too hyperactive to deal with just getting to act once every few months, and then even on a film set, you're waiting for the lights to be set and things to be rehearsed, and so you don't get to do like the kind of level of expectation to catharsis. That ratio felt wrong to me. So I then started writing and directing, and I used the money I was making as a film and television actor to fund my work in the theater as a director. And the reason I did theater rather than film is because you can get an audience response from what you're doing immediately. And I think the filmmaker's path can be either the lone wolf or it can be the storyteller. And I went the storyteller path. The lone wolf path is like you do your first film, your first short film, then you do another short film, and you do some ads, and you just hone your craft. But you have to have a certain level of belief in yourself and certainty that you know what you're doing, because the first opportunity you get to direct a feature film will define whether your career continues or not. Whereas my path was, I get to test whether or not I'm good at this on a regular basis without too much of other people's money being at stake. Like people will ask, people do 10 plays a year. They're always looking for new directors. My path to becoming a professional director was really fast. It was like within a year of me starting, directing my first not for profit play, I was given gigs. And so my ability to tell stories on a regular basis, to hear an audience responding. Like people talk about, I finally heard the audience reacting to my film after 10 years. I'm like, that would have driven me insane. Like I need reaction faster than that. So yeah, testing out how an audience reacts to something. Like I think I've got a little bit of a better kind of gauge of whether jokes will land, whether things will be shocking, moving, or how people read stuff, because I'm sharing stuff with audiences several times a year, and that's really fun. I can't recommend it enough to any film directors out there who are a bit frustrated with not hearing responses. I think go and direct a play. It's super fun.
That's really fascinating. There's a pretty major twist that happens in the movie that impressed me from a filmmaking standpoint. Obviously, I don't want to jump into spoilers or anything like that, but just generally speaking, how do you manage to ensure that we as viewers stay aligned with Lo along the way rather than getting ahead of her?
Well, I mean, that is, as you say, that is exactly the kind of dilemma of working on a film with a twist. It's like, how do you make sure that it lands at the moment the lead character gets it? And I think that the twist that you're referring to, and as you say, no spoilers, that was something we spent, I think, probably, I would say maybe that there were two major headaches in the pre-production of the film. One was solving that twist from a casting perspective, and the search for a way to solve that twist, and finding the yacht. Because it turns out not a lot of billionaires are like, super, 70 people can come onto my boat. Most billionaires already feel prominent enough that they don't also need a movie about the boat that they own. And in fact, a lot of people just kind of try to keep what they have private. So yeah, that was also really hard. Getting that boat was hard.